without further ado, um, we're going to start the 4 o'clock meeting um, of the Board of Appeals upon the application of Philip and Rosalind Terry through their architect Thomas McGrath at 102 Ferncroft Street Road, isn't it? Road, dated May 16th, 2024, seeking a permit to build an additional story to the rear of the existing structure. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district. The proposed project would make the building 3 stories high and exceed the 2/3 floor area of the story immediately below, whereas Milton zoning bylaw limits structures to 2.5 stories and 30 feet in height, whichever is less. Additionally, the proposed addition would be at a setback of 15 or more feet, would not be set back 15 or more feet as required by Article 10 of the zoning bylaw. My name is Virginia Donahue King, and I'm the zoning administrator as well as a member of the Board of Appeals, and I will be acting as the decision maker in tonight's hearing. In the file, we have the application of the Terrys. We have a denial letter from the building inspector outlining the setback causes of that, as well as the height and stories issue that I just described. We have a plot plan by the civil environmental consultants. We have lots of architectural drawings showing what the building will include and how it will look like from various perspectives on the ground level. So I also understand that Mr. McGrath, the architect, will be speaking for the applicants tonight or this afternoon. And so welcome to the Board of Appeals, and tell me about your application.
Yes, I'd just like to say, however, I'm looking at a white screen now that says Zoom on it. Previously, I was able to see everybody that was able to see Kim Terry and the zoning administrator, and I don't see any of that. And that's fine with me as long as you can hear me.
We can hear and or I can hear and see.
That's odd. Well, whatever. Good afternoon. I'm Thomas McGrath. I live at 23 Arvard Street in Dorchester, and I'm appearing for the Terry family in regard to their application. At first glance, this project looks like a simple 2-story addition at the rear of an existing single-family house. But in fact, we are here seeking zoning relief because since what we would ordinarily call the first floor, where the kitchen and living areas are, is, according to the zoning regulations, actually the second floor. The reason is that because the floor above the basement is more than 6 feet above grade. So because of that, the basement is considered the first story. So the story above that, where the kitchen and living areas are, is the second story. And the floor above that, where we want to put the bedrooms, must be limited in the area to qualify as a half story. So our proposed plan, the area of the top floor is more than 2/3 of the area of the floor below, and thus is deemed a third story, which is not allowed by zoning. The plan calls for a 2-story, 10-foot deep addition across the full width of the existing house. The eave line and the height of the roof exactly matches the existing house. And when completed, the house will look essentially the same as the existing house, only slightly larger, but no higher. Curiously, if we were to propose an addition with a slightly larger lower floor and the same size upper floor, we would comply with zoning. Building additional lower floor would not only be more space than the client needs, but structurally more complicated and more expensive to build, and an obvious hardship for my clients. For these reasons, I'm asking you to grant a variance for the proposed design. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Let's see, I have been to the site, and it's unusual in that there's a bit of topography there, which kind of I'm not sure. I know that there's also, you know, a pond behind there, and there could have flooding reasons and stuff like that. Do you know anything about that in particular?
I don't, but I'd be surprised if Kim had no opinion about that.
I don't know, Dad, do you want to speak on that?
We've lived here since 1972, and Pope's Pond is a considerable
And
distance.
who's speaking now? Oh, that's
I'm sorry. This is Philip Terry. I don't have the knowledge with my laptop here to show my picture, and I don't
Gotcha.
see.
Would love to see your face, but that's okay. I think I
Anyway,
met you in front of your house when I was
yes,
looking at it.
I spoke with you.
Yes.
We've been fortunate enough to live in Milton since 1972, and I have never experienced any problems with Pope's Pond. And the pond itself is over, oh goodness, I would say it's almost 2 blocks from where we live.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's called the Pope's Pond area, but the pond itself is oh goodness, it's past Ferncroft goes into Turo Lane, and then you got to have to go 2 blocks on Turo Lane to reach the pond.
Okay. So it is a bit of a difference. So that's not problematic one way or another. But I just was wondering. I also know it slopes down into the back, so which is probably part of the reason that the house was built as it was, with the set of stairs being quite as tall as it is in the front of the house. It's an unusual. Let's see, size as I recall. Let me just you have a nice big yard. I do remember that, and I'm cognizant of the fact that having to build more than you want to build, you're still going to have a house that's the same height. And what the bylaw is trying to cut down on are massive buildings that have too much bulk for the plot that they're on. And owing to the fact that what is previously non-conforming house, so we have to ask the question: would it be any more detrimental to the area to extend that non-conformity? And is there? So I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I was wondering if there was anyone that was in cyberspace that wanted to give their oh, wait a minute. Yes, that wanted to weigh in on the application, expressing their support of it or have some questions for the applicants. Is there anyone out there, Bill?
We have a raised hand from Janet Humdy Morrison. I'm allowing her to speak now.
Sure. That's Janet Morrison.
Janet Humdy Morrison.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Yeah.
Janet Humdy, HUMDY -Morrison.
Morrison. And what is your address?
My address is 98 Ferncroft.
And are you in a butter or?
I'm in a butter.
You're in a butter. Okay.
And I'm in favor of it. I don't think it's going to make a big difference in terms of the height. All of these houses, my house is built basically the same as the Terry's house, and the house on the other side of me is built basically the same. I'm not quite sure. I moved here maybe a few years after the Terry's, and we have never had flooding. But it's not going to be a massive addition in terms of height. So I'm in favor of it. I think it would be a good idea.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, and your name?
Oh, it went back on mute.
Oh, yes,
Pardon me. There he goes.
okay.
Okay. This
What's
is
your name?
Michael Hornbrook and Carol
And how do you spell your
Beasy.
last name?
Hornbrook. Carol Veasey. V is in Victor. Easey.
Veasey, okay. And what is,
Veasey. Okay. We reside at 106 Ferncroft Road. We're
The other
direct
abutter.
abutters. Pardon me?
the abutters on the other side, I'm guessing?
Yes, we're the abutters.
Okay.
If you're on the street, we're on the right side. We've lived here 30 years. We went up town hall, reviewed all the documentation, and we are also in strong support of the issuance of a special permit. As a direct abutter, we don't see any negative impact. Matter of fact, only positive, that this is the type of construction that will allow multi-generational living in Milton, which we strongly support.
Very good. Thank you very much. Is that all we have out there?
I see no further raised hands.
Okay. Well, we have the two neighbors that are going to be the most affected by this application being built, who are in favor of it. And they're right saying that it's not going to be as onerous as if something were built that was fully to the proportions of the two floors. So if there's no other evidence, I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of this meeting and let you know what my thoughts are. I think you can kind of guess. This is a modest application. It's something that's going to make the Terry family able to use their home in a better way than they are right now. The backyard is totally shielded from anybody in the back. The two people that can see the back of the Terry's house have not only expressed their agreement that they're being in favor of this, but they've also taken the time to get through speaking on Zoom and all that technological stuff that sometimes is kind of scary to do. So you have good neighbors. I'm very happy that you're all on the same page on this. And I think this will be I find that this is not going to denigrate from the meaning or the intent of the law, and I will be granting the special permit for this addition to be built. So congratulations
so
on your
much.
special permit and your years of multi-family living together.
Thank
Excellent.
you so much. We
Great.
greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Take
you.
care, all.
Okay, thank you.
That meeting was on.
Does that conclude?
Oh, that concludes the meeting. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you
Okay.
very
Thank you for
much.
attending.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Jenny.